But Larry, we got one topic left.
All right.
And my goodness gracious, my brother, I'm nervous about this one. I'm nervous because
Who's
you have
playing him? Ralph Fiennes?
oh Lord, stop it. We just had we just had a freaking biopic movie that hit theaters. And Larry, if it's safe to say, I didn't like it. And that was a biopic for the late Whitney Houston right here.
Oh,
Played by Naomi Aki. You can see my face on the screen. It wasn't the great. Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great.
haven't they done this on her story already a few times?
A number like 17, you know.
Yeah.
But this right here, y'all see the banner at the bottom. Y'all see the background. We're gonna have a Michael Jackson movie, bro. A Michael Jackson biopic. Out of any entertainer in the whole wide world, he's my favorite. He's a lot of people's favorites. You know, not just American, worldwide phenomenon. But last topic of the day, Larry, coming from Deadline.com. Emancipation's Antoine Fuqua to direct Michael Jackson biopic for Lionsgate. John Logan script and Bohemian Rhapsody's Graham King producing with the estate. Now, Larry, or before Larry, the guys, if you're watching this via live or on the replay, there's a link down to this in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure. Now, Larry, first off, the title of this does get me happy because first, good thing, we got Antoine Fuqua. We all know him. Training Day. We all know everything that this man has directed, and I can try to pull it up real quick, just as a friendly reminder. The Magnificent Seven. Let's see here. Let's get this ad out the way. So, director, Emancipation, Southpaw, Olympus Has Fallen, Brooklyn's Finest. Oh, I'm reading the wrong thing. Let me see. Director, yeah, Emancipation, The Equalizer 1 and 2, Magnificent Seven, Southpaw, Shooter. You know, all Training Day. The man has a lovely filmography. So that's great. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you've seen Bohemian Rhapsody, but that was another biopic, and that was fire, man. I remember seeing that in the theater. I was dancing. You know, I was like, this is nice. So that's two. And also the third thing, it says with the estate. And so it looks like he has the blessing of the Michael Jackson family, the Michael Jackson estate. So that's good right there. But let's go ahead and get into this. I have not read this yet because I wanted to be surprised, but they have the exclusive. Antoine Fuqua is set to direct the drama-telling complex life story of the iconic singer Michael Jackson, a script by John Logan, and the film will be produced by Graham King, who turned Freddie Mercury Queen story into the blockbuster Oscar Best Picture nominated Bohemian Rhapsody. GK Films will produce alongside as co-executive of Jackson's estate, turning Mercury's complicated rise, fall, and triumph and comeback into a film that won Best Actor from Rami Malek might have been the easier task than the moonwalking over landmines that will have to be done by the Jackson story. Anyone who has seen the job that Fuqua did on the Will Smith star Emancipation might come away believing he hit watermark as a filmmaker because of his unflinching telling of an often brutal story of an escaped slave man, Joseph. Larry, before I go any further, man, what are you thinking about this so far? What are you thinking?
I was interested until I saw the end of that title where it says with the estate, which means it's going to be garbage.
What are you talking about? Keep going.
I'll tell you why. I grew up with Michael Jackson, man. I loved Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's Off the Wall was the first album that I've ever owned. But I just can't ignore all the stuff that has come out in the years, in the last several years, or even before that, when they were talking about him, juggling little boys' nuts and whatnot.
Oh my God.
And people would get up there when they did the documentary, and people were upset saying, oh, well, they were instead of blaming Michael Jackson for doing what he was doing, they were trying to blame the parents, saying, why did you leave your kid there at his place for days or weeks or whatever? And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, okay, you can get upset with the parents for that, but the parents didn't tell him to do this. He did that. And I can't ignore that. And they're not going to talk about that if they have the blessing of the estate. All they're going to talk about is his musical genius. They may talk a little bit about how his parents or Joe Jackson was tough on the boys during the Jackson 5 years. And they may talk a little bit about that, but they're not going to talk about him. They're not going to talk about, the trials that he went through because they brought, the DA brought charges on him for sexual assault. They're not going to talk about him paying off tens of millions of dollars to keep these little kids quiet and their parents quiet. You don't pay off tens of millions of dollars because you didn't do anything.
So you think he did it?
I think he did it.
I
think he did it. I think he did it, and I think that he got away with it because he was extraordinarily rich and extraordinarily beloved.
I'll always continue to do my research. I remember when that documentary came out a few years ago. I didn't believe it. Back then, I think I could be wrong, but I think the FBI came out and said that they did the investigation and they found him not guilty. I also believe that the alleged victims came out and said the whole thing was false as well. And so that's what I'm running with. But what you're talking about is in the article. Sources tell us that the film will undoubtedly make the most of Jackson's musical accomplishments and recreation of seminal career highlights, beginning with the days he fronted the Jackson 5 as a child to hit-making work as the biggest musical star in the world as an adult. But it will also deal squarely with the pedophile accusations that dogged his later years up until his death in 2009 at age 50 from cardiac arrest caused by cocktails of sedatives. So it looks like they are going to cover that. So, and I think they should, because, whether he did it or not, it was such a huge story and split fans worldwide down the middle. I think it would be a horrible idea if they didn't address it at all and they just kind of swept it under the rug. And so, does that give you any hope that they they're going to?
They say they're going to deal squarely with it. We'll see what happens with it. I hope they do. I hope they deal with it directly and honestly and fully. We'll see, though. I mean, it's going to be a fiction movie, so it's not like I'm expecting them to make a documentary. But I hope they deal with it.
It's going to be a fiction movie. What do you mean a fiction movie?
It's not going to be a documentary. It's going to be a biopic. They're going to fictionalize stuff.
Are you sure about that? I don't know, man.
They always do. Just like all these movies that they make, the Ray Charles movie, this Elvis movie, they're all movies that are based on truth, but a lot of the stuff is fictionalized. They have to,
Oh man, I won't struck all of them like that with a broad stroke, a broad brush. I don't know, man. I mean, this is the only thing because I like the director. I like the producer, and I like that the estate is being involved. And we just read that they're going to include, not only his highlights but the drama as well. The only thing that concerns me now is the casting. Like who's going to play Michael Jackson? Those are huge shoes to fill. Now, I may upset some people with this, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. It is very important to me that Michael Jackson is being played by a Black American. I would prefer it not be any foreigners. Not saying that they can't act or they're not talented. Just for me and my personal preference, that's just important to me for the best representation possible. Yes, he was a worldwide phenomenon, and people from America and South America and Asia all loved him. Probably even the same, but still, that's just important to me. But even if it is a foreigner, if they do a good job, I'm going to admit that they did a good job. I'm not going to say just lie just because the casting doesn't line up the way I want. I mean, I didn't want Daniel Kaluuya to play Fred Hampton, but he still did a great job. I still gave that movie a 9.5 out of 10. But y'all in the comment section, who do y'all think should play Michael Jackson? Who do you think should play Michael Jackson? Excuse me, Larry. Who do you think? Who do you think should play Janet Jackson? Who do you think? Who do you think should play Tito and Jermaine and man, if they're included? That's a hell of a task.
I mean, you're gonna have to find someone that can really perform if you're gonna do this. They don't necessarily have to sing, because you can always have the person lip syncing or whatever, but you have to have someone that has that charisma, something that I don't know. I honestly I can't think of anybody out there currently. I think that has enough to play it. They're gonna have to do a wide call for casting on this one, I think, to bring
Yeah, man.
somebody in to play it. I think they're gonna have to find someone new. And honestly, I think they'd be better served by finding someone new that no one really knows to play this role.
That is true. This news first dropped for me on Instagram early in the week, and I was excited, but I was also scared at the same time. Like, oh Lord, who's gonna play Michael Jackson? And when I was looking at all the comments, everybody was saying this one name, and I never heard of the guy before. I Googled him, I looked him up, and he looked the part. I was like, immediately I said to myself, okay, I can see this person playing Michael Jackson. I never heard of them before. A young guy, just off of looks, he looked like he can fulfill the role.
Pull him up. Let's see him.
I'm trying to find the name, man, right now. Michael Jackson casting. I should have saved it.
Some people are saying Alton Mason.
Yes,
I've never heard it.
I'm
Is that
sorry,
who it is?
cut you off. Go ahead.
Some people in the comments are saying Alton Mason. I don't know who that is. It's probably outside my demographic, but
Yes. I'm trying to Alton. Yeah. Oh man, I should have been more prepared. I'm gonna try to type that in. Alton. I think that's it.
I mean, whoever plays him needs to be a really great performer, have some some charismas. I don't know. Maybe Miley Cyrus.
No, no, not Miley Cyrus, and definitely not. I'm not feeling this guy at all right here that I'm looking at. I'm trying to.
Maybe as a young Michael Jackson, but when he starts to get to older, I think you have to. That's the thing with this character. I think you might have to switch actors. You might have to find actors that look similar but are different ages, because I feel like when you start to switch them, because like after Off the Wall, between Off the Wall and Thriller, there's a big difference in his look, and you're gonna have to make that transition, I think.
Man, I would rather Jason Weaver come back than this guy that I just showed y'all. Yeah, that's I'm not feeling that Mason guy at all. Man, I'm trying to type in Michael Jackson on Instagram, see if that article. Oh God, he looked the part so well, y'all. I'm so sorry that I'm not better prepared, man. But I was like, it was like, okay, I can dig it. And I looked him up, and he was from New York, and I was trying to find out where his parents was from, but I just dang, I'm not gonna be able to find it, y'all. I'm trying to see, is anybody saying it in the? Yes. If I see the name Miles Davis, come on, Sam Jackson,
Rome Flynn. I don't know who that is either.
I'm trying to see if I see the name. I don't know it, but I don't think Jordan Fisher. Some of y'all saying what's his name? The John Boyega. No. Not John David Washington.
This is The Weeknd.
Oh man. Well, I can't. Oh crap. Hold on. Let me dang, Larry. I don't want to.
It'd be interesting if they had, because one of he might be too old now, but there was one of his nephews looked a lot like him from back in the day, and I can't remember which one, but I think they're all probably too old to play a younger Michael Jackson now. But that would be kind of cool if you had brought somebody in that actually is a Jackson, that has that Jackson look. That might be kind of cool. But I don't know if any of them can act. I haven't seen any of them out there that are actually doing anything. So,
yeah, I'm so disappointed in myself. Oh man, Miles Frost. Somebody saying Justin Timberlake.
He's too old.
Yeah, Michael Jackson casting.
JT's what, like 40 now?
Yeah, that would be a horrible idea. Man. Anyway, I can't find it. I'll talk about it in midweek or it was good. It was good. But yeah, guys, what do y'all think about this right here with the Michael Jackson movie? I'm nervous, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know how I feel about this, man. I mean, maybe it's going to be good. I mean, Antoine Fuqua doesn't make garbage, so
This is true.
I'm sure it's going to be a fine movie. It'll be entertaining, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
I
We'll see.
I am on my Instagram right now, just doing a few other little searches real quick to see if I can find the
I'll just say this. I know people are out there talking about, Larry, you need to do your research on Michael Jackson and what he was doing. I mean, I've heard, and granted, I wasn't in the room, so I didn't see what was happening. But you hear all these stories. You have these kids talking about Jesus juice and Michael Jackson getting them drunk on wine and taking advantage of them and all this other stuff. I know people out there. We as consumers of media, as Black folks, as just fans in general, we are way more lenient than what we should be when it comes to putting up with stuff from celebrities. And I think about R. Kelly. We literally had a video of this dude having sex with and peeing on like a 14-year-old girl, and it took another like 10 15 years to get this dude locked up. So yeah, and his music was still out there. People were still listening to it, bumping it, and people were saying, "Oh, he was not guilty. He was found not guilty." And I was like, "Yeah, I got that," but there was a videotape. You can say he didn't do it, but he did it. There was a videotape, and so we are just way too lenient. I don't want to say too forgiving because you should never be too forgiving. We should always be able to forgive, but there's certain people I just can't get down with anymore after.
Yeah, I don't listen to R. Kelly no more myself. But I'm still defending Michael. I don't think Michael did it. So that's just me.
See, that's the thing. I'm not convinced that he didn't.
Really?
I like his music and he's great. If Michael Jackson came back from the grave and said, "I'm doing 2 performances," I wouldn't be at either one, but I would watch it on pay-per-view.
Oh man.
I'm not going to that crazy show. I don't know what brought him back to life, but my point is he's entertaining. You could be a monster in a piece of trash and also be entertaining.
True. But my Michael Jackson, my hero, he ain't no monster. He ain't no piece of trash.
I don't know if he is or not. All I know is there seems to be a lot on it. There seems to be a lot out there, and
people always gonna hate you.
There are, but to have that same thing happen repeatedly and have these, it's different when it comes to little kids, man. When it comes to little kids, people messing with little kids, I get it. The accusation of that can crush someone.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Flex. I don't know. Somebody. I don't think this is it. Somebody else is texting me. Flex. Alexander.
Somebody said MJ is innocent. There's a difference between being innocent and being found not guilty. There's a difference between those two.
He's innocent.
I'm not saying
he's innocent.
I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is.
Man, I'm disappointed. I can't find this. Oh God,
I'm questioning anybody who's getting little boys drunk and having sleepovers with them.
Of course. Who?
I'm sorry. I know a lot of people out there can ignore that and just say, "I don't think he did anything." I'm not. I will never be convinced. I will never be convinced because I don't see how in any position it's cool to get little boys drunk and have sleepovers and play with their booty holes. I don't get it.
That's common sense, bro. Like, come on. Like, of course not. That's rape. That's gross. Why? Yeah, we're not gonna get underage people drunk and molest. Or no, that's the ultimate no. I still don't think Michael Jackson did it though.
Somebody said, what about Evan Ross, Dinah Ross's son? I think he's too old now. Isn't Evan Ross like 35, 40 something? I mean, I guess he could play an older Michael Jackson, but
man, I can't find it, y'all.
I feel like you need somebody to play that role that's like in their 20s, because I feel like you can get an actor maybe in like that's maybe like in their teens that looks young to play like the young Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5 and then move up to where he starts to roll. But I feel like once you get to like his solo albums, I feel like you need the same actor to play him all the way through to the end of the movie. And then you just have to age him up.
Already.
No.
Well, guys, that's going to, well, I don't think all the kids were lying, but some of those kids were coached. Y'all saying y'all dropping some jewels? Larry, those are accusations that he found innocent. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I understand. Just because he wasn't found innocent. In a court of law, you were not found innocent. You were found not guilty. And so, yes, I am educated. My mother is an attorney. She's been a prosecutor and a defense attorney. And I do understand that you were never found innocent. You were found not guilty, which doesn't mean that you didn't do it. What it means is that the jury or a judge, if you have a judge bench trial, finds that the evidence didn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did it. It doesn't mean that you didn't do it.
Are those your final words? Because
my final words are just enjoy the content that's out there. Have fun with it. Don't, you guys can listen to me, not listen to me. Enjoy the people that you want to enjoy. Have fun with it. Watch your movies, watch your TV shows, and have a good time. And yeah, there you go.
Right on. Thank you, Larry. And first super chat of the day from Dan C for $2.
What a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside.
Thank you so much.
Flex Michael
Jackson. We don't need any more. Thank you so much, Dan C, for the super chat. I do appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, again, if you're watching this video live on the replay, there's a link down to this in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure.